Yo, what's up guys? So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys the 8 best trio split drops for tournaments in Chapter 2 Season 7. So this is going to be a wide variety of drops, so some contested, some uncontested, some really good, some kind of shambles. Because I realize that everyone plays the game differently, and depending on how you play the game you might want a different drop. So we'll get started with this one right here, which is the drop I talked about in the last video. And I won't go too much in depth, but I will talk about some of the changes I had to make to it in order to get it to function right. So for starters, you're still going to have this person land up here at the alien base. They're still going to get the 10 chests here. However, I did add in these two to this person, just because the more loot the better. Then I decided to split up the houses kind of better, I guess you could say. So one person's going to land here. They're going to get these 4 chests, fish, whatever they can. Then they're going to go down and loot the gas station. So they're going to get 2 more chests, plus the vending machine, plus the ice box. And then this last person over here is going to get the 4 chests, 5th one on the beach, 6th one if they want to go all the way over here. But you'll notice the one big change I made is that the slurp truck is no longer in the looting route, and that's just because everybody in the area goes for the slurp truck. I mean, Steamy goes for it, Orchard goes for it. I mean, just so many people go for the slurp truck, so it's just not reliable to have that as an expectation that you're going to get it. If you get it, then great. Also, another fair warning, this drop is so ridiculously contested. I don't understand why, but when I dropped here in the Hype Cup, I think 1 or 2 games it was triple to quadruple contested. I mean, one game, I think it was our second game, 2 teams double contested the alien base, and then a full team went houses. And it was just terrible. So if you're really if you like fighting split drops, I could say, go here. But unless, the point of a split is to have it uncontested. So I wouldn't recommend this unless you have it uncontested every single game. Now over here what we have is some excess loot that you can get. Now excess loot is always going to be marked in this blue color. And I'm going to say this right now, excess loot is not reliable. So this is just a reminder that if you pull a zone and everything's going well, you can say, oh hey, let's rotate over here because it has some good loot. But these drops right here, you're basically guaranteed the loot from them. I mean, obviously in this specific drop, it's going to be contested a lot, but you know what I mean though. You're guaranteed a lot of the loot. This loot over here, you might not be in zone. Some teams might come take little bits of it. I mean, this is really close to Craggy. Craggy might come over here, take half of it, and then you could take half of it. It's just kind of iffy, but it's just a reminder that, hey, there's some decent loot over here. We might want to go get it if everything is going our way. So I think enough explanation here. Let's move on to drop number 2. We'll just go down south to this split, the alien base Flopper Pond Spire split. Now this drop is decent. It's definitely not the best in the world, but it's good enough. So you got the alien base with 9 chest spawns, I believe. Then someone else is going to land Flopper Pond, which only has 4 chests, but it does have the vending machine and the ice crate and the fish, which you can get some decent loot from fishing this season. And then the last person is going to be okay, I guess. I mean, they have 5 chests, nothing else really. But then the excess loot, I'm going to say this right now, this is some of the most unreliable excess loot. Basically, I just put together a whole bunch of places that I would go to when I drop retail, and I included that in excess loot for the split. So you got chest here, chest here, chest here, this little house with a supply crate, or whatever you call them, henchman chests, whatever. You got the bridge, there's another chest here, there's fish all along this river. You go here, there's slurp barrels right here, so if you're not at full shield, you're fine. And then there's this little diner right here, gas station place. I mean, and this is really unreliable because, I mean, retail is probably going to come take this, possibly take this. Lazy might even come up here, take this. Lazy might come take diner. Corny might come take diner. I mean, it is unreliable, but, you should generally rotate out in this general direction and snag as much of the stuff as you can. So let's move down to this. Now there's a couple drops over in the, actually there's quite a few in this area of the map, but first we have a weather station caddy split. This one, I think, outside of the first one that I showed, is the most contested drop here. And once again, I know this from experience because I used to land this split back in season 5, I believe. And I landed here for a couple tournaments, and it's very contested. But if you get it uncontested, the way you split it is one person goes weather station, they get 5, 6, 7, 8 chests, 11 over here. They might drop down and loot this, depends, get the NPC. Then the way you split up caddy is one person's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 8 chests. The next person, and then this person is going to loot the gas station. They get 6 chests. They're going to go here and get another one for 7, and then drop down here, get 3 more, and get the ice box. Now it is one of the more stacked drops on this map, but it is very contested. And if you are contested, you're going to triple drop caddy. You're going to triple drop the main caddy building. And if you do that, I mean, you'd lose a lot of loot and you're pretty scuffed. But if you're uncontested, you're going to be so stacked. For excess loot, you have this area over here. This is pretty reliable generally. I mean, Lazy might come down, Misty might come across. And they might take this, but you'll generally get this, and you'll most likely get the bridge. And this whole area right here. Next, we're going to go south to a alien base Camp Cod split. And this is most likely going to be uncontested just because of how bad the rotations are. But we'll just go over it. Here you're going to get 5 chests, I believe. I believe that's a supply crate right there. So 5, 6. This person's going to land at these 2 Camp Cod buildings because they have less loot. They're going to get 4, 5, 9 chests. This person's going to get 3, 6, 9 chests plus the fish. 10 actually over here. So you're going to have some good loot when you walk out of here. If you pull zone, then you're going to go over to this whole area and get all of this loot. However, in that event, if Caddy Weather Station doesn't go over here, they're most likely going to come down here. But I would see Caddy Weather Station as wanting to go more in, more like inland towards Lazy and stuff. Because generally, if you're going to land Caddy, you're probably in the mood to fight. Whereas if you're landing Camp Cod, you probably don't want to fight, so you're going to rotate over here. There's actually a solid amount of loot here. A lot of fish, decent amount of chests. The sole problem is the rotation, because what will happen a lot of times is that Caddy will come here, they'll get this loot, and if they don't push Lazy, they're going to camp right about here in this river or at the bridge, and they're just going to wait for you to go. And that's going to be a really annoying fight. If it's reasonably close, the zone, you can take a boat and go around the map, but now that boats have limited fuel, that's less reliable. Next up, we're going to go to this place right here, this Misty Mountain split. And this is one of the more shambles, possibly the most shambles loot route here. So one person's going to land here. They're going to get 2 chests. They could go over here. Let's see if I can show that. They might go over here. What am I doing? Yeah, they might go over here, get 4. Actually, that would be a good idea. So we'll say 4 chests over here. This person is going to get okay loot, 5 chests. I mean, I landed here in solos for a little bit in Season 4, so, you know, it has okay loot. This person's going to drop here, get 3 chests, 4 chests, plus fish. I mean, they're going to be okay, I guess. And then there's a lot of excess loot that you can get. You know, you can go, and not just from what I'm showing here, you can go all the way. You can loot flush, you can loot this, maybe take the slurp truck from Slurpee, although that's unlikely. But the biggest prize here is Hydro Dam. I mean, Hydro Dam, 4 chests, plus these 2 in this little building up here. It's pretty good. So this is unreliable because Slurpee might come take this, but you're pretty much guaranteed most of this, possibly even that too, unless Misty pushes over, in which case you should just run because there's no way in hell you should take a fight against Misty when you have this loot that you're going to have from this drop. So yeah, definitely one of the more shambles routes, but we're going to move over here now to possibly one of the better drops in this video. So for starters, one person's going to land Spire. They get 5 chests. Launch off, get the 6th one. This other person here, I'm not going to lie, they're not going to have a fun time looting this, but there is a decent amount of loot here. There's, let's see, 2, I believe there's 8 or 7 or 8 chests. It's 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 8 chests, possibly 9 if you want to go all the way out and get that. You fish a little bit of it. And then the last person's going to land up here. They're going to get, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chests plus the NPC. And then for your excess loot, obviously use this whole center map area. Now this I do believe is going to be somewhat reliable because you can launch pad and take a lot of this loot before other teams. It's obviously so big that, you know, Pleasant might come in, take this, or Corny. You know, Boney might come in, take, you know, a bit of this. But you'll reliably get at least this amount. But if you really, like, hurry up with your looting, which isn't always possible, because, I mean, this is just going to take a while to loot. But, yeah. You do have a lot of excess loot. You're not going to secure all of it, most likely, but it's pretty decent. Next up, for our second last spot, we have this outskirts of Sweaty Sands split drop. So one person is going to go here. They're going to get 5 chests here, plus another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So going to get 12 chests total. If I know how to do math. Yeah, 5. Okay, so yeah, 12 chests for this person. That's really good. This person here is going to get 6, which is not great, but, you know. This person here, like the last one, they're not going to have fun looting it. I mean, it's 6 chests. Yeah, 6 all spread out. It's not going to be fun to loot. But then, what does redeem this path is the slurp truck. So you're guaranteed 100 every single game. Next up, for our last split, we have a Lighthouse Shark Island split. So one person's landing Lighthouse and they get 5, 7 chests. Wow, that's actually decent. That is more than I thought. 7 chests from Lighthouse. Shark, another person's landing. Shark, they get all the fish. And these 10 or 11, I believe. 10 or 11 chests. Plus fish, I already said. And there's slurp barrels here too. And the last person is going to land on this island, which has, once again, 10 or 11 chests. I used to drop here in solos, actually, in Season 5, so I know this place gives decent loot. Yeah, 10 or 11. And then for your excess loot, this is probably the most reliable excess loot in the game, which is going to be Coral Castle, plus this island, and here. I wouldn't really go down here, because then you'd be messing with Sweaty, and with how stacked Sweaty is, that just won't be fun. However, I do not think that this drop is that good, and it's because of rotations. So let me zoom out a bit. That's a bit too much. Okay, so here. So your 2 options to rotate are, or you have 3 really. We'll go with 2 because, I mean, the third one's kind of just in the middle of them. So your 2 ways are going to be going around this way and going up the river, in which case you'd be putting yourself in between Craggy, who has to rotate, this team, which has to rotate, Orchard, which has to rotate, and Pleasant, which has to rotate. Or you're going to go up this river, in which case Sweaty is going to come key you because they have spazzes and everything. Pleasant also is going to have okay loot. They're going to come key you. Corny is going to have decent loot. They're probably going to come out to edge camp you guys. So it is really just awful when it comes to rotations. And, you know, no matter which way you want to rotate out, if the zone pulls decently far, you're going to be put between multiple different teams. And, you know, you're going to have decent loot, but it just won't be enough. So, yeah. That's going to be the video for now. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I'll see you guys next time.